Today, we're taking a deep dive into the 5 a.m. Club.
Oh, the Robin Sharma book.
Exactly, to figure out if there's anything to this whole early rising thing.
Like, could it actually help you get more done or feel better?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah.
And Sharma frames it as a story.
I've heard it's like a fable almost.
Yeah, you've got these two characters, an entrepreneur and an artist.
Both kind of struggling in their own ways.
Right. They end up at this seminar led by a guy they call the Spellbinder.
Catchy name.
And that's where they meet this mysterious guy. Almost looks homeless.
That drops these wisdom bombs.
Exactly. Super insightful. Quoting Warren Buffett about how a rich invest in time.
While the poor invest in money.
It's like Sharma's setting us up to rethink what success even means.
Definitely makes you wonder, right?
So then the Spellbinder collapses on stage. Everyone freaks out.
Total chaos, right?
And this homeless guy comforts the entrepreneur and artist.
We're both kind of shaken up.
Yeah, and he says this line, "Nothing works for those who don't do the work."
Ooh, that's a good one.
Then he just casually mentions he has to jet off to a meeting.
Like, no big deal.
But here's the thing. This guy is ripped, has this intense tattoo.
What did it say again?
Something like, "Victims love entertainment. Victors adore education."
Ah, that's right. Very Sharma-esque.
Totally. And it's this contrast that makes you question everything.
Like, who is this guy?
Exactly. Then the entrepreneur is struggling with her phone addiction.
Classic.
And he calls her out, says, "Your phone is costing you your fortune."
A bit ironic, considering what happens next.
Right. He invites them to Mauritius to learn the secrets of the 5 a.m. Club.
Wait, so a homeless guy is offering a luxury trip?
It's all part of the fable,
Hmm.
setting the stage for this transformation.
So did they actually agree to go?
Oh, yeah. They meet him at 4:49 a.m., which
Wow.
the artist is not happy about.
I can imagine.
But a Rolls Royce pulls up, and the chauffeur is looking for Mr. Riley.
Wait a minute, Mr. Riley? The homeless guy?
You got it. And the chauffeur hands them these engraved tablets
Sounds fancy.
with rules for owning your morning and minimizing distractions.
Okay, this is getting good.
And then he drops the bomb. Mr. Riley chooses to dress down on purpose.
To stay grounded.
To stay grounded, he's actually one of the wealthiest people in the world.
Wow, talk about a plot twist.
Right. And it's this reveal that really highlights the book's message.
About hidden potential, not judging by appearances.
Exactly. And then, boom, they're whisked off to a private airport
Oh, wait.
where an ivory jet with 5 AC on the side is waiting for them.
This is like something out of a movie.
It's Sharma's way of saying, this is where your life changes.
Mauritius, here they come.
A total escape from the ordinary, like a symbolic reset button.
And when they finally meet Mr. Riley at his estate,
He's completely transformed, fit, tanned, radiating energy.
like the embodiment of the 5 a.m. Club philosophy.
He welcomes them to the 5 a.m. Club, and you can practically feel the shift.
It's like he's saying, get ready for a wild ride.
Definitely makes you want to set your alarm a little earlier.
Maybe, just maybe.
So they're in paradise, but
There's still this takeover threat hanging over the entrepreneur.
yeah, Sharma doesn't let us forget the real world.
It's like even in Mauritius, she can't escape the stress.
He even describes her waking up terrified, thinking it's the investors.
Showing how deep this anxiety runs.
And that's where Mr. Riley steps in, teaching her to manage her thoughts.
Ah, the power of mindset.
He keeps emphasizing this idea of rigor.
Like, what does that even mean in this context?
He uses the example of a Formula One pit crew where every second counts.
Oh, I see. That level of precision and dedication.
Exactly. And he compares it to how we approach our own lives.
Like, are we paying attention to the small detail?
The things that can make or break success.
It's easy to overlook those little things.
But they add up, right?
And then he introduces this tight bubble of total focus idea.
Yeah, creating a protected space for deep work, minimizing distractions.
So relevant these days. We're constantly bombarded with information.
He even explains the science behind it, this thing called transient hypofrontality.
Sounds complicated.
It's basically when the prefrontal cortex temporarily shuts down.
allowing for more creativity and flow.
Exactly. And he connects this to the 5 a.m. Club.
Like that's the prime time to tap into that state.
When you're most alert before the distractions of the day kick in.
Interesting. He calls it the time for personal mastery.
And professional capability.
It's two investments that can really pay off.
But we're all waiting for the 20-20-20 formula, right?
The big reveal.
Sharma builds up to it, first taking them on this incredible excursion.
Swimming with dolphins, no less.
It's like he's showing us there's more to life than just hustle.
Finding that balance, enjoying the journey.
And as they're relaxing on the beach, he introduces the 4 interior empires.
Mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set, if I remember correctly.
You got it? He says, mastering these is the foundation for external success.
So it's about inner work first.
And you can see the entrepreneur starting to shift her perspective.
Becoming more present, less anxious.
But Mr. Riley reminds her, growth isn't always comfortable.
There's going to be challenges along the way.
He says growth as a producer and as a person can be hard.
Yeah, it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
But he encourages them to embrace that discomfort.
See it as a catalyst for change.
And then he drops this question, who will cry when you die?
Whoa, that's heavy.
It's Sharma's way of making us think about our legacy.
What impact are we making on the world?
He tells these contrasting stories, one about a CEO focused on the wrong things,
Neglecting his family, his well-being.
and another about a magazine editor who uses his remaining time to connect with loved ones.
Showing the importance of relationships, appreciating the present moment.
And then he introduces this heroic human circle model.
For living a life of purpose, leaving a positive mark.
He uses Nelson Mandela as an example, finding meaning even in prison.
Inspiring stuff.
So we've got the philosophy, the stories. Now he gets into the practical stuff.
The how-to guide.
He calls them the 10 tactics of lifelong genius.
Like strategies for maximizing your potential.
Things like the 90901 rule, focusing on your most impactful task first thing.
Interesting. It's about prioritizing working smart.
And he talks about the importance of energy management.
Not just pushing yourself constantly, but knowing when to refuel.
He even uses this equation, pressure, X refueling, growth, plus endurance.
Simple but effective, showing the cyclical nature of success.
And he gives them these 5 maxims, each represented by a charm.
Like little reminders to guide their journey.
The first one is to create magic in the world, own the magic within yourself.
About self-awareness, that inner work we talked about.
Then there's to have the results only 5% of producers have, do the things 95% of people are unwilling to do.
Embracing discomfort, going the extra mile.
The third is the world doesn't reward perfectionists. It rewards producers.
Focus on action, getting things done.
And to have a great life, install great habits.
Building those positive routines like the 20-20-20 formula.
And lastly, avoid bad people.
Protecting your energy, surrounding yourself with positive influences.
So he's laying the groundwork for lasting change.
But then he zooms in on these 5 assets of genius.
Mental focus, physical energy, personal willpower, original talent, and daily time.
And how these are most potent in the early morning hours.
It's like he's saying, this is why the 5 a.m. club works.
Makes sense, you're fresh, alert, before the day's distractions kick in.
And the entrepreneur gets it. She asks if it's about managing energy like time.
And Mr. Riley confirms it's about both.
He reemphasizes that legendary performance equation. Pressure, X refueling, growth plus endurance.
Finding that balance between pushing and resting.
And then, the moment we've all been waiting for, he unveils the 20-20-20 formula. He calls it a way to, materialize your genius.
That's a bold claim.
Right. And to live a life of limitless joy, who wouldn't want that?
But how does the formula actually work?
It's pretty simple. 20 minutes of intense exercise.
Okay, gotta get moving.
Then 20 minutes of reflection and journaling.
So some quiet time, too.
And finally, 20 minutes dedicated to learning something new.
So it's like a mind, body, spirit kind of thing.
Exactly. But Sharma emphasizes that you can adapt it.
Make it your own.
As long as you hit those core elements. Move, reflect, grow.
We like that.
So let's break it down. The exercise part is about reducing cortisol.
That's the stress hormone.
Right, and boosting endorphins so you start the day feeling good.
Makes sense. Get the blood pumping.
And he's not picky about what you do, running, cycling, anything that works.
As long as it's intense.
Then comes the reflection part, where he introduces daily diaries.
A specific journaling practice.
Yeah, you reflect on the previous day, set intentions for the new one.
And visualize your desired outcomes.
It's a structured approach, but it helps to process emotions, set goals.
I can see how that would be powerful.
He even gave them these beautiful journals made by an Italian artisan.
Wow, fancy.
It's like he's emphasizing the importance of this practice.
Making it feel special.
And he talks about how unprocessed emotions can create blockages.
Impacting creativity, relationships, all sorts of things.
Emotional health is crucial.
And he brings in meditation, too.
As a way to train the mind to quiet the mental chatter.
I've heard that can be really helpful.
He encourages them to experiment, find what works, even a few minutes a day.
Consistency is key.
Right, then we get to the learning piece. 20 minutes dedicated to personal growth.
Got to keep the brain sharp.
He's all about continuous learning, reading, podcasts, seminars.
But he says it should be intentional.
Focused on things that are relevant to your goals.
So you're actually applying what you learn.
Exactly. And the key takeaway from the whole formula is that it's adaptable.
Find what works for you.
He even says, mastery isn't a sudden event, it's a ceaseless process.
So it's about committing to that journey.
One 20-minute block at a time.
Small steps, big results.
And to illustrate this, he takes them to the Taj Mahal.
What a trick.
It's like he's showing them what's possible with dedication and effort.
The Taj Mahal, a testament to human potential.
He tells the story of its creation, over 2 decades of work.
And the collaboration of thousands of people.
He even quotes Edison. Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration.
It's about putting in the work.
And he brings in Nietzsche, too, who said, geniuses aren't born, they're made.
Through practice, perseverance.
He challenges them to find joy in the mastery of their craft.
Recognizing that the journey is just as important as the destination.
Then he shifts gears, talking about self-discipline and willpower.
That's a tough one.
He quotes David Allen, you can do anything, but not everything.
It's about prioritizing, focusing on what matters most.
And our willpower is highest in the morning, so that's the time to tackle those tough tasks.
Makes sense. Don't wait till you're drained.
Then he introduces this concept of brain tattooing.
I'm intrigued.
It's about rewiring your subconscious mind with positive affirmations.
Like creating a mental tattoo that reinforces the beliefs you want.
Exactly. He encourages them to create a brain tattoo for their goals.
Reminding themselves of what they're working towards.
And he says, thoughts become things. So focus on your desired outcomes.
The power of positive thinking, but also aligning your actions.
Then he outlines the 3 phases of habit installation.
Destruction, installation, and integration, right?
You got it. He compares the destruction stage to a rocket launch.
Breaking free from old patterns.
The installation stage is messy in the middle, like a caterpillar transforming.
It's going to be uncomfortable, but it's necessary.
And the integration stage is gorgeous at the end. The habit becomes effortless.
It's like reaching cruising altitude after the turbulence.
He emphasizes celebrating successes along the way.
Recognizing the progress you've made.
But he warns, continue at all costs. Persistence is key.
Even he's faced setbacks. It's a human experience.
And he ends the lesson with this quote. The common denominator of success lies in forming the habit of doing things failures don't like to do.
Powerful stuff.
Then for one last excursion, he takes them to the Roman catacombs.
Wow, what a contrast to the Taj Mahal.
It's a stark reminder of mortality, the fragility of life.
Making each moment count.
He encourages them to be grateful for every moment, to stop wasting time.
And to reclaim the potential that's within them.
He even shares this quote, enjoy every sandwich.
It's about savoring the simple pleasures.
And as they emerge from the catacombs, it's like a symbolic rebirth.
They've faced their fears, gained a new perspective.
The entrepreneur realizes that nothing is more valuable than happiness.
That inner peace.
And the artist confesses his love for her.
Inspired by her transformation.
It's a beautiful moment, highlighting the power of connection. Mr. Riley, seeing their love, shares a quote from Winnie the Pooh. If you live to be 100, I want to live to be 100 minus 1 day so I never have to live without you.
Ah, that's sweet.
But then tragedy strikes. They're ambushed by those investors.
Oh, no.
Chaos. The artist is fatally wounded.
It's a reminder that life is unpredictable.
The entrepreneur is devastated, but Mr. Riley offers comfort.
Helping her find meaning in the midst of pain.
He says everything we experience is part of a plan to draw us nearer to our greatest powers.
Even the tough stuff has a purpose.
He takes her to Robin Island, the prison where Mandela was held.
A place of darkness, but also resilience.
They learned about Mandela's leadership, his forgiveness.
Inspiring in the face of adversity.
Mr. Riley says, we all have our own Robin Islands, challenges that can imprison us.
It's about finding strength in those challenges.
And using them to fuel our growth.
As they leave Robin Island, the entrepreneur feels a renewed sense of purpose.
She wants to honor the artist's memory by living a life of impact.
Using the lessons she's learned to make a difference.
So we've gone on this journey with these characters.
Learned about the 5 a.m. club philosophy, the 20-20-20 formula.
The importance of mindset, habits, and finding meaning.
What if waking up earlier could be that catalyst for change?
For unlocking your potential, living with more joy and purpose.
It's a question worth exploring, and until next time, keep diving deep.